Welcome back to the Fifth Wheel Podcast. I'm Sydney,
I'm Hannah.
and we got Miami.
Uh, do we cheer?
Um, I think we cheer because F1's back.
You know what? Cheers to that.
Cheers to that. Clink.
Parker, it's Cinco de Miami right now. I mean, it's Cinco de Mayo, technically.
Yes.
But it always falls around Cinco de Mayo is when the Miami race is. So Parker was like, you gotta have a margarita for the pod. And I was like, well, make one for me. And he said, okay.
If I had done a little more pre-planning, I have the tequila. That's not the problem. I don't have any limes. And I'm not a complete sociopath. You girl needs at least a little bit of lime.
No, just tequila, and that's fine. That's all you need, just a shot.
Yeah. What could go wrong? It's not like I got work tomorrow.
No.
It's fine.
I mean, with what we're about to talk about, you might need alcohol.
That's why we've got ourselves a high noon and a Buc-ee's koozie. Sometimes these episodes require a little bit of liquid, not courage, more like liquid. I just
Depression medication.
Yeah, over the counter,
Liquid Prozac.
I mean, good Lord. I'm annoyed, but that's because of the race. I don't know. I think some fun things to talk about. When we did our spring break episode last week, we had already seen what Mercedes was wearing for the Miami Grand Prix. Bright ass purple, like the purple minion of suits. Well, then I think it was quite literally the next day we get V-Carb's Miami livery. And let me tell you, if there's one thing V-Carb does well, it is a special livery. Like, yes, that car was bright yellow, and yes, it was giving minion, but like tasteful. That car was pretty, and it fit the theme, and like, snaps to you, V-Carb, because I really enjoyed it.
It was great. I loved it. I love the bright yellow. I thought it was so fun. The only thing I will say that they didn't necessarily think through was the race suits. There's patches of yellow. It's like a white race suit with yellow, black, whatever. And then one patch of yellow in particular starts like right at the crotch and goes down. And so unintentionally make them look like they peed their pants a little. But...
I mean, we've found that sometimes that happens with drivers. So, maybe a little bit of life imitates art. I don't know. To be so for real, I didn't notice that. Probably going to be the first thing I see when I see it again.
Yeah. Would you like to see?
I mean, why not? Twist my arm.
Twist my arm. Make me pee my pants.
I mean, yeah. I mean, we could have thought out the yellow blocking a little bit more, but can't win them all.
Can't win them all. And I mean, in theory, it was great. Actually, in theory, I don't know what they were thinking with yellow on the crotch like that. If it had been yellow all over.
Agreed. The suits, maybe a miss. The car, phenomenal.
Perfect.
Their car liveries, 10 out of 10. The suit, it could have been a little bit more thought out. Not as much scrambled egg, but it's Miami. We usually get some good little race helmets, couple special liveries. Cadillac did one. I mean, it was still black and white, but it was cool.
Yeah. I was gonna say though, V-Carb is so unserious, like in the best way. Like they're like they're the personality hire. They're like, I'm gonna bring some fun into this.
We've talked about, I don't know if we've talked about it on the pod internally. We've talked about at the end of the season doing some F1 season superlatives. One of mine that I have running right now is best admin, like social media admin, and right now V-Carb is absolutely sitting pretty. Like, genuinely, they're superlative to lose.
Someone's gonna have to like genuinely be unhinged to a concerning level in order to beat them for how well they do.
my favorite one that I saw from them this week was a AI can't replace this kind of masterpiece, or it was like something along those lines. And I mean, like they used like old school Word 3D art, like bad clip art in like the best way. I mean, like kind of that kind of not bad Photoshop, but like rough Photoshop. Like, but it was so fun. And you're like, yeah, no, uh, AI could not make this. A human did this, and like, please continue making it.
Yeah, definitely. And well, it's perfect. I found it. AI replace graphic designers. Dude, it's literally like clip art.
I know. It's phenomenal.
With the checkered background, like they forgot to remove it. Oh man, that's perfect.
Like, and
They
it just,
they have so much to give, and they give
they
it to
really
us.
do. And I mean, like, genuinely shout out to the red or the VCarb admin, because I mean, they've been killing it for a long time. And I know anytime I see a post from them, I'm probably gonna laugh, or it's gonna be a little bit of nice, serotonin boost. But I was just glad F1 was back.
Me too.
I mean, it was a sprint weekend, but genuinely, I don't really know if there's
Oh
much
God,
of the sprint race that we need to talk
I
about.
forgot it was a sprint weekend.
I did too, because of, like, so I have two pre-race notes, I have four sprint race notes, and at least like two scrolls worth of race notes.
Yeah,
So I think that kind of tells you where we're going to spend most of our time here.
yeah,
I mean, I think we
fun.
should at least mention it. I mean, the sprint race, like it was fine. You had, I think, what, both McLarens up there. Charles had a good start. It ended. I literally, I have good start from Charles, clean start overall, very chill race. Lando Max Charles.
Yeah.
Like, and ask me anything else about that race, and I'm not going to be able to tell
No,
you anything else about the sprint race.
it lasted 20 minutes. It was a sprint race.
Yeah.
Hey,
It was.
I would say, hey, not that much can happen in 20 minutes, but as we know from the race, a lot can happen in about 30 seconds.
A lot could
Um,
happen in the last lap.
or the first lap, the first like three corners. So
That too.
we will have a lot to discuss.
Yeah. Qualifying, I mean, so it was one of those, a lot of, you could definitely tell that we had like a month, 5 weeks off. I mean, a lot of teams brought an upgrade package. I mean, here we are again with McLaren bringing a big old upgrade package and essentially catching themselves up to the pack. They're not, I would still say Mercedes, based on, if we're going off of this weekend alone, Mercedes is still looking as the fastest kind of team to beat. McLaren has put themselves in the running. I would argue that Ferrari is there. They just got to get their shit together, which I know my team, and that's a lot to ask.
And I was gonna say that's a pretty hefty ask for them.
That's a pretty hefty ask. But, we're Ferrari fans and we're good at delusion. So, it's not over till it's over, right? As
Yeah,
it stands, Ferrari could still win the championship.
yeah. Well, I mean, in this week's case, it's not over until it's over, unless it's actually already over, and then it's even more
Yeah.
over, like an hour after.
Yeah.
So,
But, it qualifying was fine. What was it? It was Kimmy, Lando,
then Charles, I think.
Max, Charles, or
Charles Max. Girl,
no, it was Kimmy, Max, Lando, Charles, or Charles, Lando. I know that was top four. You would think we'd be really good at remembering these things by
well,
now,
it
but
doesn't matter. It really
no,
doesn't.
it doesn't. But I mean, lap one alone, holy crap. I mean, so that's generally your top four, right? And I think we need to just, I feel like my very first note kind of sums up not even the first lap, but maybe like, the first two corners. I have bruh, OMG, Charles, yay start, lockups galore, max spins, and yikes.
Yeah, so what yeah, I guess why don't we just start? So the start, lights out, away we go. Um
Bruh.
the cars start driving and immediately Charles Leclerc said, "Hold my beer. I'm going for it," and he did. And he did the worst thing that a man could do, and that is give me hope. Cause he took the fuck off, and he was there for a while, and like
For a while.
a
You're, no,
while.
you are so right because we're skipping a little bit here, but like Charles led for a good chunk of this race, at least at the beginning. But it was almost like let me tell you, I said, "Oh my God," because he, kind of zooms up. Like the Ferraris, we are really great at race starts this year so far. Is
I
sandwiched between Max and Kimmy, or Max and Lynn, whoever it was, he's sandwiched between. Both of them lock up at the same damn time. And I'm like, great, here we go. They're going to be fine. Charles is collateral damage. Sunday ruined.
I got two bad lockups at the same damn time.
Not quite what happened. I mean, but still, I mean, and
Yeah.
somehow out of that, Max just does what Max does and somehow spins and saves it. But like
No,
when
this
he
is
spins, it's like I'm telling you, he parted the Red Sea.
he did. How
And
he
I would
survived,
say,
I don't know.
I don't know. Because do you want to know something batshit crazy? He came in contact with 4 different cars on lap 1.
Well, I mean,
4 different cars.
here's the thing about our boy Max. He's going to drive, and if you're in the way, then
Like,
I don't know. Well, what's funny too is there have been many other times, and by many I can name like at least one, possibly two, and maybe 3 times where Max has spun out, but perfectly landed perfectly back in line to continue driving, and I'm like, what? But like,
how?
okay, like that's awesome. I'm
Yeah.
really happy for him. But like, it's got to be witchcraft. There have to be some Etsy witches that have been paid to do this.
Right? I mean, it's nuts. And then, so like, also on that, you've got Lewis and Franco had a collision and it messed up something on Lewis's car. He finished the race, but it basically just fracked his entire race.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Well,
I think he started 7th, ended 7th, like, whatever it was. I mean, it was like we didn't talk about him at all because he was just like limping his car along.
yeah. Well, he flipped off Franco. Did you see that?
I did, which like in the moment, like should he have been a little more mature? Yes, but in the moment, like it's not the first time we've seen a driver do that and then like see the footage after the fact and they're like, my bad, dog.
Yeah, it's just funny. Like, I never would have expected that from Lewis out of everyone. Like, he can get heated sometimes. I get it. But, like, he's been in the
Yeah.
sport so long. And, I mean, I don't remember this, at least in the past, like, 5 years. But I can't name another time that he did that. He probably did before my time, before 2021. But,
I mean, I can only imagine the things that were done during that season with him and Nico.
I bet they were literally shooting rifles at one another from the car.
I think if the cars had guns, no bullets left when those
Right.
two were done.
Exactly. They were
But, like,
preying on each other's downfall and death.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like literally lap 1 was that scene in Community where he opens the door with the pizza. Everything's on fire. Somebody's bleeding. They're trying to like somebody's dead. It was like people who missed the start of the race. Like that was it. It shouldn't blow my mind, but it genuinely blows my mind how often that singular meme is applicable at no less than 2/3 of the races in a season.
Yeah, it's no. It's just so. I love when that meme gets used because it was a good race. Like
Yeah,
it's the perfect
yeah, and it's one of those like I literally. It's Max, Max lost heck of places, but then he does what Max does and quickly starts climbing back up the ranks. Charles, I was like, we're leading, yes. And then at one point I was like, Charles leading the race was nice while it lasted because,
Uh-huh. Well, I was watching at La Cosecha Mexican Table in New Braunfels, Texas. I was at the lunch table with some friends, one of which does enjoy F1. And so we're in the corner with my phone on silent because we can't hear. It's loud as hell in there. We're eating brisket queso. And then we're seeing all of this. We're shouting from the corner. And I remember the exact moment that Charles was no longer leading the race. And I remember turning my phone off and then didn't watch the rest of the race until I got home. I couldn't do
Honestly,
it.
valid reaction.
No, remember I called you. You were in the car watching.
Yes. Yeah, because we went to the Savannah Bananas in College Station over the weekend, and we were in the car, and I was in the back seat, and Shelby was like, "Do not say a word," and I was like, "Fine," because poor thing has had the first three races of the season spoiled in one way or another before she was able to watch them because still been like studying for stuff, like it was just a whole thing. And so like I'm in the back like trying to like contain myself, and it just like I all of the emotions. Like it was one of those I'm like great, we got yo-yoing with Kimmy and Charles, and then it's like genuinely it was one of those I was like I wasn't completely hopeless in that point until they brought him in for the pit stop.
Yeah, that I think that was like the nail in the coffin for me.
Because
what
the hell
do
was
you
that bullshit?
I feel like Ferrari normally has good pit stops. Like for the most part, like I feel like it's pretty rare that there's a rough pit stop. You'll see it from McLaren, you'll see it from Red Bull, you'll see it from whoever. But Ferrari usually like gives me at least a little hope there. And again, I would just like to emphasize all of these things that I'm saying give me hope is like a severe mistake on my own part for all of these things.
It's Stockholm syndrome.
But they like here's the thing. They have the ability. They have the means. They have everything they need. They have that picture of Patrick Starr sitting with a hammer and then he's got like a board nailed to his forehead?
Mm-hmm.
That feels like watching Ferrari try to build like a simple table with like full IKEA instructions in front of them.
And but the thing is, it's like, I mean, it's the epitome of a toxic relationship because I can't leave. And honestly, I don't want to. I'm going to complain about it. We're going to complain about it. But like, that's my team. That is my team. And like, better or worse, like those are my ride or dies. And I sound crazy right now.
You know that Dr. Phil sound that's like, this is your man. She goes, that's mine.
Yeah,
and he goes,
that's
he goes, and that's yours. And she goes, I'm gonna stick beside him. And he's like, ugh. That's how it feels, really.
Yeah.
And yet here we are.
Time and time again, I'm never gonna get away. And honestly, I don't want to.
I don't either. Because you know what the best part is? When you have been starved for so long, when you have been malnourished,
literally,
and then like also like so you're like imagine like think of those like animals at the zoo, and then all these kids are walking by with like cotton candy, chicken on a stick. You're just like a monkey in the bars, like fuck man, like this sucks. And then every now and then the zookeeper comes out and gives you like a microwave meal. And you're like, this is the best food I've tasted in my entire life. Every time they give us a little something, we're like, they just keep pulling us back.
You're so right. And the thing is, like, I genuinely think other teams' fans see us getting excited over the smallest thing, and they're like, guys, like, he just overtook a car. And it's like, you don't know how good that is. Like, it's so fun. And then how we're used of like, oh, is this how Ferrari fans feel all the time? And it's like, yes, it is. And they're like, and you still do it? Yes, and I will continue to. Like it's
That's
psychotic, but admit me to the ward because I'm staying.
Yeah, seriously. I love being a Ferrari fan and I hate it
I do
with
too.
every
I
ounce
do
of my
too.
being. Oh my God. It's one of those things. Like I said, microwave meal tastes like freaking five-star restaurant, but also like what's so funny, like you said, when we celebrate the smallest things, like we finished the races. Guys, we finished the car made it past the finish line. And we're like, this is the best day of our
Literally.
lives. And it really, you know what it does? Really puts things into perspective. Because life is about the simple things. You know, like, life is
It
hard.
better be about the simple things.
Life
Ah!
life is really difficult, and we can't all be Max Verstappen, you know.
No, we can't.
And,
We can't.
that microwave meal, the more children with lollipops and funnel cakes that walk by, the better that microwave meal is gonna taste. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
we'll just
but
stick with it.
but but and not well. No, some of it was Ferrari's fault. Some of it was Charles's fault. But it was like we really hit the whole Ferrari fan cycle like in this one race because genuinely, like when Charles took the lead, he held it for a good little while, and then Kimmy, after recovering from his poor race start, comes back and they're yo-yoing, and then yeah, so this pit stop. Not only was it long, Charles Charles didn't know they were bringing him in until it
No,
was like, hey, pit now. Like, so he goes, next time you make a decision, please speak with me. I am here as well.
no,
And
he's
like,
literally driving the fucking car.
and it's like, but do you want to know? I only saw this once and I cannot remember the source. Not sure how credible it is, but honestly, knowing my team, it's so plausible. So evidently, the reason they brought Charles in was because McLaren was coming on the radio saying they were going to bring both of theirs in. Ferrari, the dumbasses that we are, we took the bait and brought Charles in.
It's
And the thing is, I saw that and I was like, yeah, that checks out. Like disappointed but not surprised.
yeah, there's not really like oh, I'm not even gonna say it. I was gonna say there's not much that can surprise me at this point, but Ferrari, they find a way. They do everything for their
Like
fans,
like
including
you think
terrorize.
2 + 2 is 4? Ferrari's gonna find a way to make 2 + 2 5.
Uh-huh. Yep. And they'll do it, and they'll gaslight you the whole time.
They're like, no, babes, it is 5. It's always
Everything's
been 5.
fine. It's always been
It's
5.
fine. Like, what do you mean? It's never been 4. And you're like, has it really not? But
No.
like, so that I was already just like a little bummed out. Um, and then we have all of the chaos of this singular lap that had what, 3 separate incidents, 2 really big ones.
Yeah. Do we want to start with Isaac?
I think so, because that's the one that happened first, and then yeah.
So, in previous episodes, and just in general, in real life, we talk about Isaac a lot, sweet baby angel. And
Sweet
this
baby
boy is
angel.
just like genuine, like actually, and he still is. I'm not taking that back. Still, angel little baby. He's doing his best, and he is a sensitive guy. I think second Red Bull seat has caught up to him, cause he. Well, no. Here's the thing. I didn't think that at first, but I wonder if there's things
Okay.
behind the scenes. So he clips his suspension on the apex, and then he
Yep.
can't turn, runs into the wall. When I tell you the amount of rage that this young boy was able to emit in just like a few minutes, I was
It's kind of
baffled.
impressive.
It was impressive. So like he kind of like slams on the steering wheel a few times. I'm like, damn, that was a big reaction. He does it at least 15 more times.
And the thing is, I I think I get it. Like I think he knows. I don't know if this is so much of second Red Bull seat curse making an appearance as much as it is still rookie driver.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
I think maybe a little bit of a combo of both, but that's just one of those. He misjudged the distance to the wall. enough that it wasn't just a clip of the wall, it was a clip that broke suspension, and then
Then he's
you have
out.
nowhere to go but wall, basically.
Yep.
And so where he is, it's like the yellow flags are waving. You've got cars kind of going back and forth. And then all of a sudden, you see Pierre, like, the back end of his car, like man made a triangle, like nose on the ground of the car, like nose of the car on the ground, back end was like up on the barriers, and he's just like elevated. And at this point, we didn't see the crash.
No, we're like,
But
how
like,
did he get there?
and it's one of those. It's like they were on very different parts of the track. These are completely isolated incidents, and you're like, how did this happen? And then we get the replay, and I'm like,
Do a flip.
literally, like, do a flip. And it's
Do a
one of
flip.
those. It was like, again, just another. I don't know that the halo actually hit the ground, but one of those that, like, this is another one of those crashes that just, like, without halo could have been so much worse. But it was just so the way that it happened objectively was really goofy
Yep. It was kind of cool.
because Liam just drives into Pierre.
Yeah.
Now,
like, as he does,
that's-
as Liam does.
That's without any if I just gave you that, you're like, it's Liam. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, then come to find out, Liam's car was like done for the day and just like shut down and
Yeah.
stopped working. Like, if you looked at his onboard, you literally saw the lights go off, and he's got no so at that point, T-bones Pierre because they're going around a corner. And
Yeah.
in the way that he's T-boned, there is a picture. I mean, like, his entire car is off the ground, and there's it is a phenomenal but also like kind of terrifying picture of a Williams driving, and then Pierre's car is quite literally horizontal in the air. You can see his helmet. He's completely sideways, and you're like, it's just one of those. It's like you're just driving along and everything's on fire behind you. Like, that
Right.
was that picture.
What's
But it
funny
was-
too?
Yeah, no, go.
No, I was just gonna say, I got a DM right before we started this podcast. Do you remember how when I shot IndyCar, I was telling you about some of the marshals that I met?
Mm-hmm.
One of them, his name's Dominic. He was one of the ones that rescued Pierre's car. Here, do you want to see? I was like,
Oh my
"Where's Pierre?"
god,
Here,
that's so cool.
this is him. I'll show you the picture. I was like, holy shit. And he was like, yeah, I know. I was like, that was a lot. Window.
That's crazy.
Instagram.
And honestly, and what's equally as crazy is Pierre just immediately got out of the car. He
No,
was fine.
he was so fine, which I was like, thank God. That was one of the more intense crashes we've had in a while. At least like off the ground
Since
crashes.
Ollie's.
Ollie's,
Yeah.
we've had a lot of intense, like heavy G-force on the ground crashes. But then I was like, oh my God, was that you? And he was like, see, with a little help.
That's so cool.
And they're just chilling out there. I'm like, that's so special. So
That's really, really cool. Yeah, but it was.
But that's a scary
I mean,
crash.
That was wild. And so between these two incidents, we get a full safety car. I don't think anybody's surprised by that. Liam's got to retire his car, because it stopped working.
Yeah.
And somewhere in this, after safety car ends, I look at the timetable and I'm like, what? Where'd Nico go? Oh, Nico was just gone and out of the race, and I still don't know what happened.
I was gonna say I didn't even notice that.
I
Where'd he
know,
go?
because no one talked about it. He was just gone. And I think I remember seeing maybe him sitting in his car during the safety car, but like it wasn't enough to like pique my brain, like to be like, that's suspicious. But I was just looking at the order and I was like, okay. I was like, Liam gone, Isaac gone, Pierre gone. Nico? I was like, the hell happened to Nico? I don't know.
I'm looking it up. I'm looking at his Instagram. What happened here, man? Tell me.
Whose house is that? But it was I was like, completely missed Nico retiring. I mean, but
Oh,
like,
Bro straight up simply hasn't posted anything about the Miami Grand Prix. Never mind. Guess we'll never know.
It's fine. But so we have all of that. We get most of the pit stops. Um, what is it? Yeah, got stop. What? I have no clue. This note is gibberish, and McLaren and Mercedes got put stop timing right for Kimi and Lando.
Got pit stop timing right?
Ah, that's
That's what I'm
probably
here
what that is.
for. Can I
That's probably.
can I add something about McLaren real quick? Just something funny that F1 TV, aka Apple TV. You know how sometimes they will put like the craziest stats that are like
Ooh, yes,
really
love
insulting.
these.
Yeah, so they did one for Oscar at the beginning of the race. It said, record holder for leading the championship without actually becoming champion, in parentheses 15 races. Why'd they have to do him dirty like that? That was so rude.
Oh, that's whoever was in charge of those today is not an Oscar fan.
No, and that's really sad. But no, yeah, so they got their timing right on pit stops and stuff, which is good.
Yeah, probably because
Yeah.
they freaking double bluffed Ferrari and
I still can't believe
whatever.
we fell for that shit.
I know, and the thing is, even if it's not true, I'm gonna have a hard time not believing that because it's so something that would Ferrari would do. They're like, they're gonna pit, let's pit now. Whatever. And then on top of that, had a bad pit stop. Like I think it was a 3-7. It was a hot
No,
mess.
it was 3-7 because I just rewatched it a few minutes ago. It was bad.
And like it was just one of those. So we have all of that. I don't quite remember what lap that was on, but then it was relatively quiet for a long time.
And it wasn't supposed to be. They kept telling us it was gonna fucking rain.
Which the thing is, to their defense, it's Florida. So like 1 minute it could be you're gonna have the downpour of all centuries to psych the storm decided to go to Tampa instead of Orlando or like whatever the hell it is. I mean, because they moved the race up 3 hours because there was a potential for, you know, a big ass Florida thunderstorm. And it's one of those like there were a lot of people complaining about the race start time. A lot of people who it was like our race was going to be at a reasonable time and then now it's at an absurd time. So like a lot of, either the European or Asian or like well, Australia's just always fucked by race start
Yeah,
times.
sorry,
Um
Australia.
but it's one of those it's like those people complaining have never experienced a rainstorm in Florida and a
Yeah.
thunderstorm in Florida at that. Because like Jesus Christ. I
No,
mean,
hurricanes are a thing. And like,
yeah, it's not hurricane season, which is why that's the other thing is like people are like, why don't we do Miami in October with the rest of the because October,
no.
September, October is peak hurricane season, and you don't want to do, it's a whole thing. Like
It is. But like, but what I
the
was trying to
U.S.
say
is a
was,
big ass country, and we've got crazy ass weather in different parts of the country. Y'all don't get hurricanes.
yeah, what I was trying to say with like it like is like hurricane or like crazy hurricanes in Florida is that like when it's not a hurricane, it's like, oh yay, it's just like a severe like life-threatening thunderstorm.
Oh, yeah, I mean you're gonna get lightning galore, flash flooding. Like it's no joke. And the thing is, that storm could last 5 minutes or 5 hours.
Yep.
It's one of those like it is, and it's one of those like you would think would be super duper predictable, and it is to a point. Like I think they said, like I think Miami did end up getting rain around or during like what the original race time would have been. It was not as severe as was anticipated, but I guarantee you the second they didn't move that race up, we wouldn't have had a race
Yeah.
because it was raining so hard and lightninging the entire time.
Yep.
So like I get it from like they had that ability. Um I mean, because you don't, it's not like it's a street circuit and you've got, where Vegas, you've got this like strict time window. Although, even though it's not a street circuit, it is quite literally right next to the highway.
I was gonna
Um,
say, isn't it?
you know what? Next year, might mess around and watch the race on one of the traffic cameras
I was
because there's
literally
this,
gonna pull that up because F1
it's,
TV Apple TV, whoever the fuck it is now, they did such a bad job with some of the timings, and then some of the overtakes, they'd be like, oh, look on the corner of your screen. Even though we're not showing it, it's on like the tiny little thing.
I did hear that complaint about F1 TV is that like there are some of these replays, like especially from like lap 1 stuff that you didn't get. Yeah. I mean, and that's a great view of the track.
It's
honestly.
fantastic.
But like they said like there were some replays you didn't get until like 8 laps later. That's too long.
It's too long.
I've been watching because on Apple TV, it's a freaking maze to get there because you have to go to the F1 page, then you have to go to the Miami Grand Prix specific page or whatever Grand Prix specific page you're on, and then you have to scroll down and find the Sky Sports section to watch the Sky Sports broadcast. But I do it every time because like at least I've typically always watched the Sky Sports broadcast unless I was watching at y'all's place. And so, like, I do like both, but, like, hearing the complaints about the F1 broadcast these last couple of races, not that Sky Sports is perfect either, but we didn't quite have that replay problem.
That, and this was a problem. You were there at the first race when we were watching at Danny's. They just, every now and then, will be like, what if we didn't show the time intervals?
Yeah.
What if we just showed the order and that was it? Like,
yeah,
it was
that's
to the point
crazy
that the announcers were reading off the times because they were important. And I'm like, hey, why? Like, I think it should be a rule that you never turn those off whatsoever, not even once. Or make it configurable to where you can pin it or something. Because, like, I know some sports networks or whatever allow you to, like, have a score up or, like, kind of customize your view.
Mm-hmm.
There should be an option for us to see the time intervals at all times throughout the race.
I agree.
Like,
and I guess you could put it on your phone or whatever, but it's like the thing is, it's like the convenience of having it on the screen as you are actively watching the race and watching people hunt down your drivers. Like, it's, you know, call it a first world problem because it is, but like, I need my time
on your phone. Like, I watched it on my phone for the first like few laps.
Yeah, but whatever, it's fine. Yeah. You know, we had that sort of calm last third, and I was already a little upset because his tires were going because they pitted him too early, for one, and the likelihood, like at one point he was running in second for a lot of it, looked like he might catch that one. Well, then he lost that, I think, to Oscar, Lando, whichever one it was.
It was Oscar.
And then
whatever orange dude it was.
Yeah. And then he gets overtaken for third too. And I'm like, I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm like, are we not even gonna get a podium?
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, it's Charles. That man is like weird, freaky racing IQ. He'll probably figure out where he wants to overtake in the last lap and we'll be fine. Right?
Right.
Do you want to know what my note is for this? All caps. Bro, what the hell, Charles?
Yeah. That sucked. And
we should probably share with the class what happened.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so, last lap, you know how we talked earlier about Max having, like, his perfect little ballerina moment? And there's a lot of Verstappen fans, Verstappen stans, you know?
Verstappen so hard, he was like, wait, can I try?
I want to try too, but what's so funny, side note, there was something that was like, oh my god, they literally gave birth to him. It was Max in blue, Charles in red, and then Kimmy in the middle in purple. Anyways, but he was like, I want to be just like Max. I love him. Mm-hmm. And so he goes, I'm going to attempt a twirl.
Yeah.
I mean, he did it. He twirled, and he kept going. However, that caused us some issues. So he finished the race in 4th place, technically.
Mind you, when he spun, he hit the wall.
Oh, yeah, he hit the wall. He did, but he kept going. He said, I am getting this tow mater over the finish line. We're so close. Yeah. It's too late. So
that car was struggle busted.
He was, but he made it. Over the finish line, 4th place. We're like, you know what? Not the outcome we wanted. But it's, you know what, like, it is what it is. We're gonna have to
We
live with
finished
what
the race.
happened.
Points are points.
You know, we're all kind of zen here. We're all zen. We're like, you
Yeah.
know what, we've done our meditations, we've accepted this outcome. And then
Hmm.
the FIA said, fuck your outcome.
Yeah.
What if, hypothetically, what if, not hypothetically, we gave Charles 20-second penalty,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
moved him from finishing 4th to 8th?
7th or 8th. Yeah. And not so. And let me tell you, it was a busy day for the stewards because they were like, let's bring Charles in, let's bring Max in for a couple of things, let's
Oh,
bring
yeah.
George in. Like,
Franco.
I mean, it was literally get in, loser. We're going to the stewards. I mean, like it. So let's. Max will be investigated for crossing the line at the pit exit. Charles Leclerc and George Russell will be investigated for causing a collision at turn 17. Max and George Russell will be investigated for causing a collision at turn 1. Charles will be investigated for leaving the track multiple times and gaining an advantage.
Yep.
Jesus. And the thing is, okay, let's. All these penalties, some crap. They gave, well, some of them. They gave, I think, Max 5 seconds for the whole pit lane thing. Like, he did. Like, that was a legit rule that he broke.
Yeah.
My grievance is this bullshit 20-second time penalty on Charles.
Because no reason.
Biased aside, I completely disagree with it.
No.
Because here's the thing. So, he hits the wall, and when he does it, he breaks his suspension. Like, they say leaving the track and gaining an advantage because he like went over the curb, stayed off track, and then came back onto the track. Brother didn't gain an advantage. He lost a podium place for one. And on his onboard, you can see him driving, turns his wheel completely to the right, and his car does not turn. It said, what if I didn't do that?
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's not even like they gave him a penalty for driving in an unsafe manner. And even if he had gotten a penalty for that, I would still disagree with that because nothing was hanging off of his car.
No, and he didn't gain any advantage.
But it was the last lap.
It was the last lap. He did not gain an advantage. He was not anywhere near anyone else to like pass to gain an advantage. And on top of like he lost time for that. It's not like he like spun and
crashed into first.
Oh, yeah, conveniently I'm way ahead now. No. That should have been its own punishment. Like he already like lost time for that.
It was one of those like as mad as I like wanted to be at Charles for spinning out, like for one, the fact that he still finished in the points, points are points, whatever. But it's like there aren't many people I think other than Charles or Max that could have had a spin and a hit like that and still managed to finish the race. Granted, had there been any more than just that one lap, like half a lap left, Charles would have been out. Let's be so for real. That car couldn't turn. Car could not turn.
You said I can't imagine anyone besides him or Max being able to have that and finish the race. I can't even imagine I can't imagine Charles having that and still finishing a race. They retired their car for like seemingly having too much sunshine on it or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it just I genuinely I don't get the 20 seconds. I don't get, and I mean, like, the fact that Lewis finished in the points is a win because his car was just fricked up. Yeah. I mean, I guess another bright spot of sun is both Williams finished in the points, granted 9 and 10, so they only got 3 points, but like they're having themselves a year.
They are.
But like for the whole Charles thing, it just was so like I remember like, and it was one of those I had to have no reaction because my sister would have killed me if I gave anything away, and it just was one of those for a race that started what I would consider really well as a Charles and a Ferrari fan, minus what happened with Lewis, like it Huh. But I will say it was what we had Kimmy, Lando, Oscar in the end as our podium. And honestly, I really liked that podium.
I kind of liked it too. I did. And
And
I'm just like, I'm really happy for Kimmy. I love Kimmy.
I it's one of those there's this picture of and it is blurry as hell, but it's so funny because I can't tell who Kimmy's talking to, but if you look in the background of this,
Oh, he's plotting. George Russell
George is
is
just
plotting.
lurking in the back. And it's like it's the epitome of what is it? What is it? Look at me. Look at me. I'm the first driver now. And it's Kimmy. And the thing is like I do feel bad. I don't think some of what's happened is necessarily George's fault. I think Kimmy is just Kimmy's on a hot streak right now.
Like we said, they grew him in a test tube to
They
drive
did.
a Ferrari
They
or to
did.
drive a Formula One car.
But in that and the thing is, I also extra like it when Kimmy keeps winning, because it means we get to hear the Italian national anthem, and it's been 555 days since we've heard the Italian national anthem because of Ferrari.
Why would you say that? That's so many days.
And it gets even crazier than that. So 555 days to the day since a Ferrari stood on the podium. Not only that, it's the fifth day of the fifth month, and driver number 55 was the last Ferrari podium or win. I mean, you can't write a script like that, like you can't even, because what do you mean?
You know what being a Ferrari fan feels like sometimes?
What?
Being a Ferrari fan and saying that out loud is like saying that like the stripper is into you. You know what I mean? Like,
That was a good analogy.
but it isn't it? It's they're giving us, they're giving us the signs. They're like, "Hey, be our fan. We have history. We have great drivers. We have red cars."
And
And
that's
then they take your money, and then they go, "Okay, bye."
it's like, it's the you only watch F1 because the drivers are hot. It's like, do you think I would put myself through this emotional turmoil with my chosen team because the drivers are hot?
No,
Brother.
absolutely not. I would never do this.
But it's like, so yeah, coming off the just sadness of the whole thing with Charles. I will say I think what happened on that podium might be one of my favorite podium celebrations in a hot minute because, well, for one, poor Kimmy. It was a race in the US. Brother's 19, so he doesn't have champagne. And he
No.
shows that to Oscar and Lando, and they chuckle because it's like, haha, underage. But not only that, right as they start spraying champagne, I can only describe what I would call a butt ton of confetti streamers is blasted onto the podium. And somehow they all fall normally around everyone else except our dear Aussie Oscar. When I tell you, like,
Oh,
that man is like covered and tangled because like, and then
it's
so
like
he's like covered in these streamers, right? And then like is trying to kick them off, and like, how you're like when you're trying to get something off your foot. Well, then you get him doing this like karate chop ass kick, and you see how there are no streamers on
on either
Kimmy
of them. Yeah.
and Lando,
You know what it
and
gives?
you've got Oscar over here with them wrapped around his neck and his ankle and the
It gives
like.
like you remember when you were like a kid and you watched cartoons and they would have like they would set up a trap for the bad guys to go through something sticky and then run into a bunch of feathers so they stick to them. That's exactly
Yeah.
what happened here. He's covered in champagne, sticky, wet, and then
I mean,
confetti.
it was so comical because like it was a huge ass volume of these streamers that just fall, and like they just fell all nicely around Kimmy and Lando, and then like it was like the entire clump just like consumed Oscar, and it's one of those. And then I saw this tweet. And it was, the Miami humiliation rituals for Oscar are just out of control because last year they made him do the,
Agree.
and then this year he's fighting for his life against streamers, and then because we can't do anything completely serious, someone photoshopped him like he was Godzilla destroying the city, and then now he's a track athlete doing the hurdles.
The track athlete doing the hurdles is crazy.
But it just was one of those. It was so funny, and it's just like that is literally something that would happen to Oscar. Like it was so goofy, and he's in the background of that picture trying to kick these streamers off of him. Lando's just laughing at him, but the man's having himself a year because right now his record is did not start or a podium finish.
No, seriously. He is either I'm not going to finish this race, or I'm sorry, I'm not even going to start this race unless I'm on that podium. Which, you know what? Good for him. But someone in Miami hates him because of those streamers and that note of like longest record without actually winning the championship. Crazy. Someone had a vendetta out for him. I bet it was Zach Brown.
So funny. Like it just so many things. And then my other favorite running bit right now is Max Verstappen spins, finishes in a position lower than he started, and gets driver of the day.
Yeah.
It's arguably one of the funniest things we do. But then it's like, so you spin out, finish lower than you started, and get driver of the day. I spin out, I get called to the stewards and get a 20-second time penalty.
Yeah.
That's being a Ferrari fan.
Yeah, it feels like what is that thing that I'm thinking of? Oh god. Like Toby from The Office who's just like there and he's like, "Hey, can I like live normally?" And Michael Scott's like, "Fuck you." That's really what it feels like. I know there's a better analogy for that. There's one that I'm thinking of that I can't place, but it's like, "Oh my god, like, do you want a lollipop? Red Bull Max?" Like, "Yeah, thanks." It's like, "Can I have one?" Like, "No."
No, HR. That's what it's the HR.
HR.
Meme.
Yep. HR. Yeah, no, it's horrible.
But it's crazy. I mean, we've got Kimmy's still leading the championship. I mean,
which good for him.
Honestly, like good for him. Like it'll be especially interesting, I think, if it were to continue. Like, do we get another kind of I say same thing, but like same thing, different font of like a whole Oscar and Lando. Like, is that what we start seeing with like a Kimmy? Like, does George come back? Like, is it even gonna be Mercedes? Like it's so early, but it's like right now trends continue. Kimmy's sitting pretty right now. I mean, homie's 19, so a lot can happen. But it'll be, I don't know, I'm excited. A little depressed also because we basically have 3 weeks until Canada.
It's like another spring break.
Mm-hmm. So we have nothing this weekend, nothing next weekend. The following weekend is Canada. So it's like, yeah, it's technically 3 weeks, but
and Canada, we're gonna be at IndyCar, so it's like I'm so excited, but also it's not going to be like a normal race weekend for us either. We're gonna have to catch up. We're gonna have to be careful on social media.
We're gonna have to watch it in the car.
Yeah,
we're gonna have to watch it in the car after the fact.
Let me see what time the races are.
Okay, you look IndyCar time. I'll get what is it?
10 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. Race green flag traditionally dropping around 12:45 Eastern, which is Indiana time.
Let's see. Nope, not Monaco. Get out of here. Canada. The race is at 3 p.m. Central Time.
Okay, so no, then we're fine. Once the IndyCar race is over, then we will be. The IndyCar race ends at 2:30 Central Time.
So we might have to delay our start a little bit, but like,
Yeah.
also, I don't know if we even talked about that last week. So Hannah's shooting IndyCar as a meet, and so Parker and I are going to tag along. And yeah, it's going to be a whole lot of fun. I don't really know anything about IndyCar. Hannah's trying to get me there, but adding another sport to my agenda. But nevertheless, it's the Indy 500, so like, why the hell not?
No, seriously.
And that's just kind of fun.
Yeah. That reminds me, we do need to book like a hotel or B&B, whatever, soon.
Just book it and then tell me how much I owe you, because yeah, we're T-minus 2 weeks till test, and your girl is not
Fair.
mentally here.
Side note, did you ever ask Shelby if she wanted to come?
She can't. She got to move out.
Damn. Well, you will be missed, Shelby, but I'll see you for your birthday, which Parker will not, by the way. Girls only. Sorry.
We really took ourselves into... I mean, but let's be so for real. We're like 56 minutes into this thing, and I don't think we've seriously tangented.
Gone on a tangent?
Yeah, gone on a tangent, like, until now. That might be a new record for us.
Hey, we haven't tangerined until 56 minutes in. So you know what? I think that's a new record.
It
Yeah.
probably won't happen again. Don't get used to it.
No, don't get used to it. Don't ever get used to that with us. The biggest thing about us, I mean, I'm surprised that I made that stripper reference and it didn't like go into something else, you know? Or like I don't know how I even came up with the monkey at the zoo. Like these things just come to me, and we didn't dwell on it.
Was the TV dinner. Like, that's what the zookeeper brought him, was a TV dinner. I didn't have the heart to tell you in that moment, but you said TV dinner, and I was like, you know what? That's a choice, but I'm gonna stick with you.
No, but I mean, like, the equivalent. I don't know. Like, it's not
The
not gonna
equivalent
be,
of a TV dinner.
I don't know. Like, you know, animals in the zoo have their own special food. They don't get to go to a restaurant and choose. You know what I mean?
Correct. But I cannot say I can think of any instance where a zookeeper has brought a monkey a TV dinner.
It was a metaphor, Sydney.
I know it was. And it came, but I was dying.
It was a metaphor.
was
I am
funny.
the queen of metaphors, by the way. Ask any of my patients. Actually, don't. You don't know who my patients are. But I am the queen of metaphors. I
but
give
yeah,
a ton
no,
of them every day.
It was a really good, I would say it was a really good first race weekend back, but not for reasons that I would have wanted them to be.
No. I think it was a good race for the sport. Not
Correct.
necessarily for us. Or
Personally, could have been better, but what's new?
We were fed. Hey, we were fed a TV dinner, but we were fed.
Probably wasn't even kids' cuisine.
No, it was probably like lean cuisine, which has like 30 calories and tastes like absolute cardboard.
Yeah, you know, I can't win them all, and we're just taking a lot of L's lately, but nevertheless, the horrors persist, so do I.
I don't know why I thought when you said we're taking a lot of L's, I'm like, by the end of the season, we're gonna go la 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 la.
Honestly, anything to keep the just, you know, I mean, we're like the little engine that could have just, you know, it's our year. It could totally be our year. We don't have to wait till next season.
Yeah. Well, the la 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 was like for all the L's we have.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm tired because I'm tired of this crap that we're dealing with Ferrari.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
That's too damn bad. Someone at my job. Someone at my job. We have like the little clips for our badge that like you like extend to like badge into things. Someone has one that says, "I'm tired of this, Grandpa," and I was like, that is hilarious.
That is phenomenal.
It was phenomenal. But anyways, what I was saying is I'm really tired of this, but am I gonna keep watching? Yeah, and am
Oh,
I going
yeah.
to continue supporting Ferrari?
Yep.
Yeah. Like, there's no other option.
There
My
is no
pride
other
is too
option.
wounded to choose another team, and also I don't
Yeah.
want to.
And it's like that's our man and we're sticking to it.
That's mine. I'm gonna stick beside him.
I mean, one of these days I would like to think that it'll get a lot better. But until that day, we're sticking with them.
We're
But
sticking with him. And you know what?
boy, do I
No one can tell us that we were bandwagon fans.
bandwagon? Bilbo
Bandwagon.
bandwagon?
Bilbo bandwagon. It's not the margarita, I swear. But no one can tell us that we were bandwagon fans.
Correct.
When Ferrari does have their comeback era very soon, by the way, it's happening very soon.
Yeah, yeah. Next race actually is when they're like, you know what, we just want people to think that we're not gonna, and then now we're gonna.
Yeah, Charles is in his reputation era, and he is
Exactly. Yeah.
he's about to drop some bangers and then go on a world tour and then another world tour. I say as he's actively world touring as an F1 driver, but you know what I mean. A metaphorical world tour.
You know,
As he must.
when we're in that nursing home in our ripe old age, and it's the, next year's our year, they're gonna do it, and it's like,
The
okay,
nursing
grandma, and it's like they were gonna win it that year, I swear, and it's like, okay, Mima, like that might be us, and the thing is, bring it on.
What if, and I'm saying this is what I, because I know it's not true. I know it's not true. I know it will not be true. What if we're in the nursing home and the last win for Ferrari was still number 55, Carlos Sainz?
I might need to be admitted to a psychiatric ward before that point.
Yes. I think, honestly, if we don't have another Ferrari win in the next 10 minutes, I think someone should just take me. And I say this as someone who has to wait 3 weeks for their next race. Like, someone please put that car out there right now against, like, a Toyota Camry. And just let them go. They need to win something.
Honestly. You're joking,
anymore.
but
I'm not,
seriously. I know.
I was gonna say, am I?
It is that serious.
We're doing really great, guys. But we will see y'all in 3 weeks. Please take some self-care in this time. Maybe meditate. Maybe do some deep breathing exercises. Maybe
Think happy thoughts.
Think happy thoughts.
Yeah.
Maybe watch some highlights from when Carlos was at Ferrari. And if you're really feeling crazy and you're really like just about to get admitted to the psych ward, like Sydney said, start rooting for Mercedes. But if you're a true fan like us, then you're not going to do that.
Correct. You might root for other people sometimes, but you're tried and true. Whew.
No, it's like you have like your favorite food or whatever it may be. Yeah, I like Chinese food. Yeah, I like burgers, but like at the end of the day, lasagna is where it's at, Like I'm always going to come home to that.
That's what I tell people when they're like, who's your favorite driver? Like, who's your team? I'm like, Ferrari is my team. I was like, Charles is. If I had to pick an absolute favorite driver, I'm like, I'm gonna probably go Charles. But I was like, there are handfuls of drivers, and there are other teams that I really like. Like Williams, my second favorite team. But it's like we talking favorite team, like my team, like that is Ferrari.
Like who would I die for? Ferrari.
Unfortunately, yeah. Would they die for us? Absolutely not. They're the ones who like pushed us off the cliff. Yeah. But like roles reversed, I'm going to yank them back up to prevent them from falling into the abyss.
Yep. Favorite driver, Carlos. Favorite team, Ferrari. I had a really great time 2 years ago. I had the best time 2 years ago. But
yeah, honestly, we all did.
As
in me and you.
We all did, as in just us.
I mean, Shelby did too.
Yeah.
Shelby did too.
It's so funny because that makes it sound like we don't have friends. We have lots of friends, both of us.
Gang's all here.
This is Penny. This is Chip. And say hello to use napkin. No, literally. We make it sound
God, there's a SpongeBob meme for everything.
There really is. But I'm gonna put myself out of my misery here.
Yeah.
And actually, to this tune of "Misery" by Maroon 5, I am in Miami.
I am in Miami.
I'm in Misery, aka Miami, which normally is our favorite race of the year. And don't get me wrong, it was great.
It's up there. Well, I would say it was one of our favorites, but mostly because it gave us time to gather and, partake in shenanigans.
Yeah.
If anyone remembers the last Miami Grand Prix, we had at Hannah and Parker's former apartment complex pool, and Parker made really strong margaritas.
No, I did. I made those.
You did, and Parker did.
No, I made them.
Whatever. It doesn't matter. There were margaritas. We had really strong margaritas. I dropped my phone in the pool. I got stung by a wasp. I was like, I think I just got stung by a wasp. And Hannah was like, where? And I was like, I think right here. And she goes, oh yeah, there's a wasp on me. And whacks it off of me. And she goes, hold on, I'll murder it. And then proceeds to drown this wasp.
I'm tossing her.
And then fishes glass out of her margarita. Or fishes ice out of her margarita glass and starts rubbing it on my collarbone where the wasp stung me. Which, for what, did help. But
yeah, I know first aid.
I don't think it's tequila ice.
Cool compress, though. Reduces the swelling
right.
and the irritation.
So and then the Miami Grand Prix, I think the year before that's when that's still my contact picture for you. Hannah put on goggles to cut onions.
Goggles.
When I tell you this knife was larger than the knife that you see in horror movies where people are getting and she's just with her little goggles. And
it's a Cutco. It's a Cutco professional kitchen knife.
That right over my head.
You not know Cutco? It's kind of a pyramid scheme, actually. But they have very good
no, I don't.
Girl, I gotta fill you in on the Cutco lore once we're done with this.
Do you know who you're talking to?
My friend Sydney. My best friend.
Yeah, no. But yeah, no. You know me. Nevertheless, Miami, while our shenanigans were had apart this year, it was a race. Boy, was it a race.
It was a race. And that race is now over, and I'd like to drown my sorrows in another margarita.
Cheers. Cheers
to that. Well, we will see y'all in 3 weeks after the Canadian Grand Prix. We will probably, and I say probably, I mean most definitely, have some form of story or another from the Indy 500 weekend to share. If we're lucky, it will be Sydney being like, I like the Indy 500 now, or IndyCar. Once again, I
don't think that's the problem. Let's be real. We know I'm going to have a good time. It will be the degree of what's going on other than cars going really fast.
Well, yeah, she does have a test coming up. If you pass, then we're going to celebrate. And if you don't, then we're going to black out. Or you
I won't know. I won't know for a week.
Oh, yeah. So we'll preemptively.
I'm telling you.
Preemptively party.
Memorial Day weekend, Indy 500 weekend is my week of blissful ignorance.
Yes, it is. No more studying, but no results yet.
God. I just want to be a professional engineer. Anyways.
Everyone in the comments wish Sydney good luck on her PE exam and manifest. If anybody feels really generous, send me a few bucks and I'll pay an Etsy witch. So, you think I'm joking?
Honestly, I'll take anything at this point.
You think I'm joking?
I don't want to pay to take this test again.
No.
Anyways, I digress. Man, we shouldn't save our tangents for the end.
We've spent 20 minutes on a tangent.
You know, I don't think anybody who's still with us in this moment is surprised in the slightest.
No, no, no. Yeah, I think if anyone's still listening at this point, which, by the way, if you are, thank you. Also, are you okay?
Genuinely, thank you, and I'm sorry.
Yeah. If you, I was gonna say we should do like some weird call out. If you have listened up until this point, comment like TV dinner in the comments or something so we know. Comment microwave TV dinner or something of that sort so that we know that you went all this way. So,
With that, we should probably wrap it up.
I'm Hannah.
I'm Sydney.
And it's lights out.
And away we go.
Goodbye.